Yeah, my name is Emma Slade, or you can call me Annie Pema Deki. Yeah, so I finally got the chance to come to Bhutan in 2011. Like many people, I'd wanted to come for such a long time, and I was very happy to have the chance in 2011, in autumn time. When my Lama here started to teach me, as certainly doing the Nungjo, basic mindfulness is quite important there. So I think I learnt it more formally through the process of doing the Nungjo. And then I think you have a kind of mindfulness that comes from being in nature here in Bhutan, the vastness of the sky, clearness of the air. There's a different kind of mindfulness comes from that. So you can experience it formally through teachings, but also in some way informally through the nature, I think, here. So the metaphor of the lotus growing from the mud can be applied to all of us. It's just that the lotus, which is unstained by the mud, is like our Buddha nature. So it comes in the mud, but it's never muddy, it's never made muddy, right? So that's the reality for all sentient beings. I guess, the qualities of a lotus associated with the Buddha, Guru Rinpoche, all of these great masters, qualities of clarity, and then compassion and wisdom. We're all trying to accumulate those, right? We're all trying to allow those to show more clearly and to be less obscured by any kind of mud. I'm certainly not some clear lotus at this point, but I'm working towards having it fully revealed. May take many lifetimes, I think. When we talk about mindfulness, I think it's very important to recognize that now mindfulness is used in many different contexts, actually to mean many different things to many different people. From a Buddhist point of view, one of the core meanings of mindfulness is not to forget something. So if you are mindless, then you're forgotten something. You're doing something without any awareness, right? So when we're practicing mindfulness, we are in a state of not forgetting, right? We're in the state of remembering. Any practice we do, which we've been told to do, anything that we've been advised to cultivate in our mind. Say if we've been advised to cultivate compassion. In terms of the mindfulness practice, that means remembering always to cultivate compassion. So that's a very specific, but I think now mindfulness is used as a byword for any kind of well-being or a thoughtful, or maybe looking at lots of aspects of something. When we study more to use mindfulness in my path, it's more to stay close to the teachings and to keep the mind present and inwards and with the compassion and the wisdom. Yeah, I was a senior financial analyst in HSBC, which is a very large Asian bank, Asian European bank, well, global bank. I think if I was still practicing as a CFA and investment banker today, I'd be quite rich if I'd carried on, to be frank. And so I would be doing philanthropic work. I would be using my money to help many other people. I think that would be the main thing. The first parameter is generosity, isn't it? So it's only the fifth parameter, which is concentration, which is the equivalent of mindfulness. So the first parameter is generosity. I've always been fascinated in meditation, but whether I would have had the time to really develop that practice if I'd continued with my very intense financial career, I don't know. That's how I would have had a spiritual aspect to my life, I think. I think if you get the chance to share any Dharma, it's such a wonderful thing. Usually, if I'm going to incorporate mindfulness into teachings, it's more about encouraging people not to forget what they've been taught, because actually, to be frank, a lot of people take Dharma teachings and they do this, right? Watch this. They come here, they're beautiful Dharma teachings, right? They come right here, and then they go home and they just fall out the other side, right? So the mindfulness bit, it means you staying here with it, remaining with it, yeah? Taking it in and keeping it here. So you're a vessel for those. So I think it would be more that people, if they take teachings, listen carefully, take them inward and don't let them fall out the other side too quickly. I think it's just always good to think of what the opposite is. So imagine yourself living a life which is totally mindless. Imagine how that feels, right? And see if you want that. Probably not, right? Because if we're going to choose to live more mindfully, we have to want to. Nobody can make us. We have to want it from inside. So I think it's always good to think, what would happen if I didn't take that practice on? So there may be just some area of your life where you think, in this area I'm being a bit mindless, and it would be helpful for me to be a bit more mindful. I always think it's good to think like that. Ultimately, whatever word we use, whether we use meditation, we use Buddhism, we use mindfulness or whatever, us as beings, we have to know our mind. Like, we can hide from others using all kinds of things. But our awareness of our own mind, the health of it, the stability of it, the kindness of it, the calmness of it, only we are going to experience that directly. So I think one strong aspect of Buddhism and mindfulness teachings is this is down to you. This is your mind. Nobody else can do it for you. To some level, only you can know what's going on. If you're feeling really angry inside, often people won't even know, right? Only you can be mindful of what's going on in your current mind, yeah? And I say that not in a way to kind of scare people, but to give them that sense of, you are the one that can do this. Obviously, you need the help of others, support, Dharma teachings, but ultimately, this is about you and your mind.